Right now on KGW, the new developments in President Trump's attempt to freeze federal aid funding, plus a strike averted in Beaverton. What we're learning about the new agreement between the school district and Education Association. Meanwhile, thousands of Portland city workers could walk off the job as soon as next week after they vote overwhelmingly to authorize a strike. And later, the reaction to a local mechanic arrested for allegedly running a massive chop shop in Happy Valley. Your news at noon starts right now. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm China Green. We have a lot of news to get to happening just in the past 30 minutes here. We start with breaking news in the St. John's neighborhood where police are asking people to stay inside of their homes and lock their doors. This is happening near North Hudson Street and North Charleston Avenue near the St. John's Community Center. Police say they are trying to arrest a wanted suspect who is barricaded inside a home and maybe armed with a gun. Several streets in the area are blocked off right now. We'll update you on the story as soon as we get more information. In other breaking news, President Trump has rescinded his order to freeze most federal grants and loans. It becomes just a day after the freeze was issued and then was temporarily blocked by a federal judge. So to walk you through this, yesterday, the White House Budget Office had sent a memo saying federal agencies must pause all financial assistance to give the administration time to review programs and see if they fit the president's priorities on issues like gender ideology, DEI, and energy. Social Security, Medicare, direct payments to individuals were not supposed to be affected, but because the memo was so vaguely worded, it wasn't clear exactly which aid would be halted. Throughout the day, the White House attempted to clarify the exceptions, but by then the order had sparked widespread confusion for organizations, local governments, and schools. President Trump has also signed into law the Laken Riley Act. It's just happening. The act is named for the nursing school student who was attacked and killed by a Venezuelan citizen who had entered into the United States illegally. The law marks Trump's first legislative win days after he took office as a Republican-led Congress aimed to execute his agenda. The act requires immigration and customs enforcement to detain undocumented immigrants who are arrested or face charges or have been convicted of burglary, theft, larceny, or shoplifting. These are all developing stories. We'll continue to bring you updates here on air, on our app, on KGW Plus, and on our website at kgw.com. We've also been tracking the president's recent crackdown on immigration. Here in Portland, the police chief says Portland police will not engage in immigration enforcement. In a letter to the Portland community, Police Chief Bob Day says that he is committed to serving all residents regardless of their immigration status. Day's statement comes about a week after Portland Mayor Keith Wilson issued a similar letter to City Council, pledging that the city would maintain Oregon's sanctuary laws. All right, headed over to Rod Hill now for a look at weather.
All right, a lot of new news there. How about some old news? Here we go again. Another clear day, another cold, frosty start. But this is the finale of these clear sky days with the cold temperatures out the door. 27 in Portland, matching my forecast low for this morning and pretty much where we have been. It was 20 degrees down in McMinnville this morning. Who else? Salem, you are at 26. It was 19 out in Hood River this morning. And by the way, today we have made it. This is the 17th, or will be at midnight tonight officially, the consecutive 17th day of only a trace of moisture or less in Portland. So that will tie that record set all the way back in 1948 for the longest dry stretch in January. We have the warming temps because we have the sun. 48 in Newport right now. We're all set for another lovely afternoon. Portland's at 44. I think that's right where we were 24 hours ago. So we'll get up to about 52 degrees for a high temperature for the second day. We'll be clear for you this evening. But you wake up tomorrow morning, it will be cloudy, and that will be the springboard to a changing weather pattern leading to lowering snow levels. We'll have that forecast for you coming up.
Thank you, Rod. Now at noon, the Beaverton School District and Beaverton Education Association have reached an agreement preventing a possible strike. The school district announced the tentative agreement for a 3-year contract this morning. The new deal provides almost a 15% cost of living adjustment over a 3-year period from this school year to the 2026-27 school year, as well as an increase in the school district's health insurance contribution. BEA members and the school board still have to vote to approve the agreement before it's finalized. In Portland, more than 1,000 city workers have voted to overwhelmingly go on strike. Employees could walk off the job as soon as next week. And the two unions involved in negotiations have submitted their final offers to the State Employment Relations Board. The larger of the two unions is meeting with the city for a final mediation session today. The negotiations is coming as the city is facing a significant $27 million budget gap beginning this July. Additional spending could lead to further budget cuts. As city officials say, they're preparing to maintain essential services, but the potential impact on residents remains unclear. Portland's largest cannabis shop is planning to shut down for good after the owner says the shop has been lost over $1 million from break-ins. The Portland cannabis market has been hit by armed burglars 6 to 7 times over the last 7 years, the latest one happening Monday morning. And that is the only time that police have arrested a suspect that broke in. The shop CEO thinks no other arrests have been made because of the amount of time it took officers to get there.
On average, it's been at least 50 minutes for them to show up to our facility, and as far as I know, the local precinct is 6 blocks away. I've been on the phone with the police department while it's happening, while I'm driving here, and they still don't get here.
In a statement, Portland police acknowledged their staffing crisis, saying in part, "We are trying our best with the resources we have, and our detectives work these cases exhaustively, knowing that solving one may mean solving others." The man accused of running an alleged chop shop in Happy Valley is scheduled to appear in court later today. Now, he's facing a slew of charges here. KGW's Catherine Cook breaks down the charges for us and also got reaction from a customer who explained why he was surprised to hear about the mechanic's arrest.
Azzy Brocon's turquoise BMW is hard to miss. A little less obvious is the thing that gave him car trouble last week.
So it's really deep down in here, you can't see it.
But what Brocon really didn't see coming was the stack of criminal charges his mechanic, Jeremy Sampson, is now facing. Brocon admits he found Sampson's garage on Facebook, hoping to save a few bucks on repairs, but left a happy customer.
The allegations he has against him don't match the quality of labor that he does.
On Monday, Multnomah County Sheriff's deputies arrested Jeremy Sampson after raiding this property near 172nd and Foster, as well as another site. Investigators with the Multnomah County District Attorney's Office say both appeared to be part of a chop shop operation they'd been investigating for months.
We're in the process of going through the property, linking up parts, linking up vehicles to ascertain the true identity of the vehicles and the ownership.
Last week, investigators got the break they needed. Court documents show someone had stolen a truck from a Beaverton car dealership. That truck had a tracking device. Working off pings and mounting evidence, investigators traced the truck to the alleged chop shop in Happy Valley. On Monday, U.S. Marshals served 2 search warrants. They also arrested Sampson, whom they found nearby driving a truck and trailer, both confirmed stolen. Inside the chop shop, investigators found multiple stolen vehicles, including a Big Tex trailer and the stolen truck from Beaverton, though it had already been stripped for parts. The DA's office suspects hundreds of stolen cars have come through here, the kind of operation they're focusing on.
If you are stealing cars, if you're committing property crimes, we are going to charge you, we are going to prosecute you, and this is not acceptable, right? This is people's livelihoods, this is people's transportation to go to the doctor.
I honestly have a hard time believing that he even did it.
The whole case blows Brocon away. He took videos and photos during his shop visits and says Sampson went above and beyond with his work and hospitality.
There's a balance there, like, yeah, he did great work, but at the same time, people don't deserve to have their stuff stolen.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
How many times have you heard someone say, "I have never used algebra in my day-to-day life, but I sure could have used some class managing on my money"? Well, state lawmakers in Washington are working to make financial literacy a high school graduation requirement. Under the new proposal, financial literacy classes would be offered by the fall of 2029 and would become a graduation requirement, starting with the graduating class of 2023. We heard from a teacher in Olympia who already teaches a class like this.
I wish I'd had this class when I was in high school. And I have so many students that, they teach siblings, they teach their parents. I've had parents like at open house say, can I come and take this class?
A similar bill came up last year in Washington but didn't make it out of the legislature. The state lawmakers say they feel optimistic that this version of the bill will make it through this time.